Hi muckers, welcome back to my second channel. Okay, we have got a Kiki. We have got to Kiki. So, it is currently 1:33 in the morning on Monday the 16th of December. So, this has been a very hectic and very interesting New York trip. It has definitely been very different than any other December trip that I always do. Now, I vlogged coming to New York and I vlogged like the first day and I've been like vlogging here and there and stuff, but I've been doing the most random stuff this entire trip, which I've just been like so living in the moment for, but I have a lot of updates for you, so it feels very weird to be making these videos being like, I'm already in New York, and I haven't even posted my like traveling to New York video. So I'm sitting in my hotel room, and I just filmed a main channel video, and I was like, okay, we've got a Kiki, we've got to catch up, I need to tell you what has been going on, because this has been the craziest New York December trip that I've ever done. Now, I always come to New York for Mariah Carey's concerts in December. Spoiler. I was going to 3 of them. 2 of them have been cancelled. I was going to go to one on the 13th of December in New Jersey. Cancelled. I was going to go to one tonight, the 15th of December, in Long Island. Cancelled. I have one more to go in Brooklyn on Tuesday, which is tomorrow, holding out hope that it's not going to be cancelled, but I fear that the worst is they're all going to be cancelled, which is very unfortunate because obviously I come to New York for, these shows, and being able to go to the Trisha show was honestly just a coincidence that it was happening around the same time and I was able to make it work. But I came out here for the Mariah shows, and, most of my suitcase is like Mariah stuff. I got front row seats for me and my friend Kat for the first night, and then I got front row seats for me, my friend Kat, and her girlfriend Anna on tonight, and then I'm going front row to Brooklyn if it even happens. And so there's a section of the show where like Mariah signs things, and so I had brought things, in hopes of Mariah signing them. Hold on, one of them is in the bathroom for some really weird reason, but for a little example, I was going to 3 of the shows, and so I had 3 things in hopes for Mariah to sign, which is really sad. But in the past when I've gone to Mariah's shows, I have gotten things signed after the shows, but she now has a bit in the show where she comes out during Always Be My Baby and signs things, so I was going to 3 shows, so I brought 3 things just on the off chance that I'll bring this night 1, this night 2, this night 3, and whatever gets signed. Obviously, we only have 1 show left, and there is a high likelihood that it will get cancelled, so we are going to be bringing this and hoping for the goddamn best. Now, it's also annoying because the one show that might be happening is the one show I'm going to on my own. I was going to the other ones with my friends, but we don't even know if it's going to be happening. But honestly, there have been so many really random things that have happened as a knock-on effect for the Mariah shows not happening. Now, I made a video talking about the Trisha show, and I don't want to talk about it anymore, and there's also no reason to, because ultimately it was a great night, and thank you so much to everyone for the feedback on that video, but, it was a night, and it kind of threw me off my tracks a little bit, if I'm being completely honest. It kind of set me into a little bit of a rut, and I, spent like an entire day just kind of like staying in my hotel room, and then the next day I kind of was the same, and then I was talking to my friends, and they were like, get over it. Like, you cannot allow people on Reddit, or if people are going to approach you in person, to affect you that much. And I was like, you know what, Diva? You're right. So I just started living. And now I'm doing shows in America in February. I know you've heard me talk about it so much, I apologize. But baby, I got to promote them. And the first one is in New York in February, opening night. And we're like 2 months away from it, which is so incredibly scary and exciting to think of. And obviously I've been talking back and forth on, will I move to New York? Will I move to Paris? Will I move back home? Whatever. I had made a video talking about the fact that I really think I need to move to America after my Brighton tenancy ends in February, because I keep traveling to and from America for amazing work opportunities, that I'm getting because of people like you watching my videos, that I'm spending so much money in order to make those happen that I think at a certain stage it's smarter to kind of be living in America. And I'm aware of everything that's going on in America right now, but I'm still traveling to and from America whether or not I live here, so I would just be saving a lot of money whether I lived here or not. And then I went back and forth on should I move to Paris before I moved to America. Sorry, I'm sniffing a lot in this video. I can feel myself getting a little bit nasally. For some reason, I'm gonna knock on wood here. I'm not getting sick yet on this trip, but it's so cold that, like, I feel like my nose and ears are, like, permanently fucked on this trip. So please bear with me. But I, was going towards this idea of should I move to Paris before I move to America? Should I even move to America in the first place? And I definitely have this idea of, like, I don't see myself, like, living here or fitting in here. And this trip has been really interesting because with the Mariah shows falling through, it has allowed me so much free time. And I didn't want to waste my time here, so I have been meeting up with a lot of people that I haven't met up with in a long time. I'm meeting a lot of new people, and I've really felt like I have, in the sense that I've felt like I've lived here more so than any other trip in the past. Now, I've, traveled to New York for the last, 4 years, I think, and I've stayed in various different areas. I've stayed in Brooklyn, I've stayed in Manhattan. Actually, those are the only two areas. Different areas in them, though. And the more times that I stay here, the less touristy things I do, and the more I just kind of will, do my Zoom calls in the morning, and then I'll go and get coffee, and I'll walk around for a bit. I'll come back, I'll do some emails, I'll go meet up with friends for dinner, I'll come back, go to bed, something like that, right? But this trip has been so interesting because I really had a little bit of a breakdown, if I'm going to be honest, after the Trisha show, and I realized I didn't want it to affect my trip so much, and then the Mariah shows got cancelled, and I was like, no. No. We're not fucking up this trip. We're going to fuck it up in a different way. So I started going out to dinners with people that I had, met once or twice or met, through a mutual friend. And I started really growing a social circle in New York. And one of those social circles being the people that I always go to Mariah show after parties with. And we've been hanging out loads on this trip. And it's been so lovely, and I'm seeing them again, tomorrow. And tomorrow is while I'm meeting up with one of my amazing friends that I see every single year I come to New York. We always have, a day where we see each other, and we always want to see each other more, but I'm always here during a busy work period for her where we're always like, oh, I wish I lived here so I could hang out more. I've been hanging out with my friends Kat and Anna. We went to dinner tonight. We put on our Mariah outfits. This is not my Mariah outfit. I had a diva green coat on. And we went to dinner, and we just had a night of being with each other like we would have at the concert. And on our first night that we were supposed to do the show, we all got crumble cookies, and I hate to say it, but they were delicious. And we hung out and we talked, and I've been doing a lot of talking with people this trip who live out here, asking them for advice, and I've really been coming to this formation that yes, I am going to move to New York. And I understand as well that it's very much so oh, you think you can move to New York, you think you can live in New York. But I think a big turning point as well was talking to Nicole and Jake, who, oh my god, I have fallen in love with both of them. I am seeing them again in 2 days' time, the day before I leave. They are better than you can imagine. I know we have a lot of crossover audience. They are better than you can ever imagine. I met them for the first time at the Trisha show, and we just did a lot of talking back and forth, and Nicole has recently moved to New York. Jake lives in New York, and they were just giving me advice, and Nicole's going through it right now because, not to speak for her, but she's talking about this on YouTube, moving to New York from, I think she was in Philly before, and she's in that transitional phase, and I'm no stranger to a transitional phase when it comes to moving. I did it with Brighton, I did it with Manchester, I did it with Brighton again. But I feel like I have a realistic approach to how the move is going to be and whatever, and I definitely think that I'm going to move into an Airbnb for the first 3 months in February, March, April, and then sort accommodation out after that, but kind of living in an Airbnb for the first 3 months to kind of get settled in. I'll bring 2 suitcases over. It's been a lot of talking that I've been doing with people this trip, but that's not what I want to kiki with you about. That when it comes to dating, and this is what I want to kiki with, when it comes to dating, I struggle a little bit, and I've really been in a rut. And I know I posted a video not that long ago where I really talked about the rut that I was in, and I had not been on a date in 9 months, and I finally went on a date, and Mama came home and was emotional. I was not in a great space after it, and what I didn't say in the video is one of the main reasons that I stopped dating in Brighton was because there's not that big of a pool of people because I've been there for so long, so I know a majority of the people that go to the gay clubs, go to my favorite cafes, my friends of friends, I know them. So when you are in a place for 5 years, you know everyone. And a big city, Brighton isn't that big, but like a decent sized city, becomes very small, and you're part of communities, and you know everyone in the communities. And everyone I know this is the main thing, everyone I know has dated someone who's one of my friends, or one of my friends has dated someone that I don't like, or that it gets messy, right? Where like, oh, I want to go on a date with that person. Oh, didn't they date my friend's friend? Date with that person. Oh, didn't they have drama with my friend? Oh, it's very small. That I decided when I was in New York, because I was meeting so many people, I was going to throw myself into the opportunity of, if something ever arose, to go on a date with someone or hang out with someone in a romantic way, and whatever that means, that I was going to do it. And I have traveled a lot, and I've been very lucky to, and I've always passed down the opportunity of, if I ever meet someone at a bar, or if, I meet someone at a restaurant or a smoker's area, or through a mutual friend, specifically the mutual friend thing, that I'll always just be like, no, I'm like traveling right now, and but I know that inevitably I'm going to be moving to New York very soon, that I started taking up those opportunities. And a couple nights ago, I haven't been here that long. This has been a very short trip for the grand scheme of things. I'm normally here for 2 weeks. I'm only here for like a week and a bit. I was out like 3 or 4 days ago, and I had went out with my friends to the bar, and then my friends left the bar. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna, go to this other bar that I like the look of, that I've already been to, I know the vibe, just for a drink before I go home, because my friends were out drinking before I met them, so I'd only had one drink, and I was like, I want to do another drink, catch the vibe. It was pretty early, and then I'm gonna go home. At this bar, someone approaches me like an angel. And I'm like, oh my God, I recognize this person. I'm like, who the fuck are you? I recognize you. They speak, and I go, oh my God, it is my tour manager. My tour manager, who I've never met before. Like, this entire tour coming about has all been through emails and Zoom calls, and this person in particular has been in all the calls. And so I was like, oh my God, I'm seeing you in person. And we sat and we talked at this bar for, I don't know, a while. And then we went to another bar because I had so many questions, and we were just geekying. And it has gotten me so beyond pumped for, sorry, these shorts are a lot, so I'm gonna like move a little bit closer to you. It got me so pumped for tour, and he ultimately told me that he's the one that's gonna be traveling city to city with me, and he's gonna be my tour manager. And I cannot tell you how excited I am that, like, I love all the team. We love everybody. But that this person on the team is my tour manager, like, he is so sweet. He is so kind. He is like, I'm like twin. Like, he's everything I could want in a friend. And I'm like, oh my God, the fact you're going to be my tour manager, like, you're amazing. So we just like kikied all night. And then he went home, and I like walked him a little bit, and then I was like, I'm gonna, head home. And for some reason I left my jacket in the bar. So I was like, let me go back into the bar. And whenever I went back into the bar, I got called over by this table. So I went over to this table, and I was like, hey, like, they called me over because I came into the bar on my own, even though I was there a second ago with the tour manager. So I'm like, these people are fun. So I sat down, whereas I normally would leave. I'm like, let me make some friends. I'm moving here. So I sit down, and ultimately they are so much fun. But one of the people in particular, I'm like, hey, hello. So the night goes on. I spend like another 2 hours in this bar, and it was so late at this stage that they weren't even serving drinks. Like, it was just one of those like all-you-can-eat diners. So people were just ordering food, and I was just literally there for the vibes. And I was just getting to know these people, and this guy that was sitting beside me, I was like, OMG. And obviously I didn't do anything with it, but he then made a move with me, and we started talking, and ultimately one thing led to another, not to be unladylike about it, but we, ended up spending the next day together. And we then, the next day, was the day actually I woke up and I got the news that Mariah canceled her show, so we were off to a bad start. But then we went around New York and we went to a diner, which is so funny because he was all to me, he was like, oh my god, you're a YouTuber, like, if you tell this story online, like I'll predict it or whatever. And I was like, please, I would never talk about you online. So anyways, we went to a diner and then we went shopping all day, and then I came back home and I got ready for dinner, and I went out to dinner with my friends, and that was a really, 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 really great, night, and we've been texting since and blah, blah, blah. But then, this is what I needed to kiki with you about. So, in the group of people that I know through the Mariah show, who do all the after parties and stuff, I know one of the guys, like, for a couple years, and he introduced me to his friend group, and one of the guys, I was like, my goodness me, just very, very, very sweet and very whatever. And ultimately, we've been texting and we've been, wanting to hang out, and we're going to see each other, like, after the Mariah show and stuff. And it just, like, I feel like a completely different person. It feels so bizarre that I can go out in a place, and I've never allowed myself to do this before, but I can, like, talk to someone or someone can talk to me, and I don't have a fear of, like, oh, my friends won't like that person because they've probably dated this person because there's only about fucking 5,000 people in Brighton anyway. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. It felt so exciting in a way that I didn't know anyone, and I don't know anyone. And obviously I have all of my mutual friends and stuff, but there's something so exciting that, like, specifically with this trip, because I know I'm going to move here, I feel like I've, like, been building afresh and a whole new community of people around me and a whole new social circle. And I'm like, wait, hold on. This is, like, there's so many people here. And every time I go out, I'm meeting someone new, or every time I go to a restaurant, there's just, like, new people. It's not just people I recognize because I've been, living in the same place for so many years. It was the same reason I wanted to get out of Derry. You know what I mean? There's been something so exciting, and I feel just really good right now and really excited about the fact of experiencing something new. And I know that there are going to be so many challenges with moving to New York. I know that it's going to be miserable. I know that it's going to be so lonely. I know I'm going to be so far from my family. I know I'm going to be leaving all my friends behind. Like, I know all of this. But there's something about the fact that this is so scary that I'm so excited for it. Whereas in the past, when I moved from Brighton, I was like, this is so scary, but, like, scary bad. Whereas this is scary, but, like, scary good, if that makes any difference. And I just feel like I'm leaving this trip, even though I have a couple more days left here, I feel like I'm leaving it with, like, this sense of, like, excitement about life, where I'm like, god damn it, there's a whole world out there. And I never thought I would, feel this way, because I've been so down in the dumps when it comes to making new friends and dating in Brighton, because, again, it is so small. And it feels that fucking everyone is ran through over there. No shade, because I know they're fucking same out in these streets. But I don't know anyone here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm building, there will be drama, you know what I mean? There will be friendship drama, and there will be whatever, but, like, people out here, obviously, they might know a YouTube video or two, or the fucking toxic gossip train, but, like, they don't know my personality, they don't know, like, I'm getting to know people, and people are getting to know me, and it's, like, a whole fresh, new perspective I've felt over life. And I really apologize for the lack of videos, even on my main channel, but let me tell you something. I have been living it up. Oh my god. I have been going on dates. I have been, like, doing shit. Like, I haven't done this in over a year. What the fuck? And I'm like, oh my god, I don't even feel crazy yet. You know that, like, immediate, like, craziness I get whenever I'm in Brighton, because I'm like, oh my god, what if that person tells this person or what? And I know that it will eventually come when you build up enough social circles in, like, a city like this. And it's not running away and getting rid of the other problems or getting rid of, pre-existing feelings you feel in Brighton or a city or whatever like that. It just means that, like, it sounds so bad, but I feel like I've, like, outgrown Brighton, and I feel like having to move to America with work was just kind of the push I needed for, like, this whole new life that is coming. And oh my god, I'm so fucking scared. So scared. There are so many things that could go wrong. But I'm so excited for such a big challenge, because what I felt over the last like week and a half of just like living and doing shit and meeting people and experiencing things, and it has just been like, I have this perspective of New York now where I'm like, okay, I live here versus I'm a tourist. And God, I honestly feel like I've been given like a fucking shot, and I'm like, oh my God, like I feel really, really, really excited about the future, and I feel really excited about life again. And I'm like, oh my God, there's so much challenge upcoming, but like that's good and that's exciting. And I'm like, I don't want to go back home. And not home Christmas. I mean, I have to fly back to London first, and then I have to, be in Brighton for a couple days, and then I have to, then I'm going to go back home for Christmas, which I'm really excited for, but then I need to, go back to Brighton. And there's something that is like, I'm like, about the fact that, and this is stupid, obviously, but like, I, for once, have like been asked out on a date for New Year's Eve. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm going to be going back to Brighton, and I am in a friend group right now where everyone is in a relationship, and it's going to be the same as last year, if you know, about me and New Year's Eve, where I'm surrounded by people that I've, met over the last 5 years and stuff like that, and, practically everyone that I know is in relationships or settling down in Brighton, and there is not that many people in Brighton other than the new wave of students that are coming in, and I don't want to befriend fucking 17 and 18 year olds, no shade, but that's genuinely what you would have to do, versus I'm meeting like young people that are like my age and a little bit older out here, and they don't know me and I don't know them, and I'm a little bit sad, if I'm being honest, that I'm going back to Brighton at all, which sounds very bad. But if I could just, and I'm here and moved, I would do it. And yeah, I'm really upset about the fact that I am going to be spending New Year's in Brighton. I love all of my friends, do not get me wrong, but I've gotten such a big push when it comes to like life this trip, in knowing that like people my age exist out here, that I'm going to be going back to Brighton and spending New Year's with, all my friends who are, in happy relationships and they're moving on with their life. And it seems that I'm dumb for not prioritizing the stuff that all they're prioritizing. But then I'm out here, and the people out here are prioritizing the stuff that I'm prioritizing. They're like at a similar pace of what I'm at in Brighton, than not in Brighton. And so I'm like, ugh, I wish I could come back here for New Year's. And I know that I'm going to be moving here in February, and the shows are in February, but I'm like, damn, if there's a way for me to, go home for Christmas and then come back to New Year's, or come back to New York, even just for New Year's, I'm like, oh, I would do it. I would do it. And obviously I'm not saying this in like a unrealistic, like, fairy tale land, but I'm just saying like, there's something very different about being surrounded by people your own age that you feel moving at a similar pace than you, rather than people your age who you feel have like far succeeded you, settling down, they have like fully fledged careers, they're like 5 years into relationships, they're looking to buy houses, and I'm like, everyone out here that I've met so far is, they're my age, but they're like students, and they're like, a lot of people I'm meeting out here are YouTubers. A lot of people I'm meeting out here are influencers, are journalists, and even if they're not, they're just like my age, but like, not so much like settling down or whatever like that. And again, the big thing of like, I don't know anyone out here, nobody knows me, it's just like really, really, really exciting. And again, I hate to say it, but I'm really sad about the fact of not being here over New Year's, because I've just met so many amazing people who've invited me to so many amazing things. And And I know now that I'm going to have a shitty New Year's because I'm going to be like, oh, I could be in New York. Which is so stupid, and I understand it. But, yeah, I just know now that I need to, do the move in January. I need to... Oh, I don't need to do it yet. Sorry, I need to do like a tax bill thing, but it's due on like the 20-something. Oh my god, if I missed that, I would be in severe trouble. Whew! I think it's on the 22nd. I need to do that. I'm actually going to write that in my notes because I need to remember to do that because I'm going to #forget make tax payment. God, don't you love tax season? But yeah, I've just gotten this. And I guess the, low peak of, how I felt after the Trisha show is, I was, only up from here. But then the Mariah canceled, so I was kind of thrown into, well, let's find other things to do. And then I just started, hanging out with people. And it's just really excited me at the fact that, damn, my life is so different out here. And I don't know, I've, really... It's really made me excited. And again, I know that there are negatives, and I know that there is so much going on, and there will be so much going on politically, and even just beyond that, you know what I mean? But the fact is, which a lot of people weren't necessarily understanding, is I'm not handing over my citizenship to move here. I'm on a work living visa for the tour anyway, so I just use that. I don't hand over my citizenship in any way. I'm still European Union, Irish, and also I can luckily be able to move back home anytime I need. But also I'm going to be in America, anyways, if I was not to move here, February, and then I'd be back in March, and I'd be back in June for VidCon, and then July I'm filming podcasts, and then in September I would be back in New York, and then December, I'd be, you know what I mean? So, I would be here anyways, regardless of moving, but I would just save so much money. And, again, I've just kind of gotten this, burst of, there's something really exciting about something being really scary like this. And I just had to kiki, and I had to let you know that, I apologize for the lack of videos. I have been living it up. Oh my god. I've never acted like this before because I've never, allowed myself to, because I've been I'll never move here. I don't want to get to know the people because I'm going to be leaving in a week anyways. And, once I threw myself into it, oh, my God. It's been really amazing. And again, I know it won't always be like this. I know there'll be really shitty moments, and they'll go on for ages, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm on a shortish trip right now and stuff. But this is not my first time here. I understand. I've had trips like that. Mainly what I'm saying is, I've allowed myself to, live it up a little bit. And it's crazy how... Specifically with the dating situation, I would have so many breakdowns after one date in Brighton because it's oh, well, this is all I've got. That's my last fucking shot. Because that's exactly how it feels. It's exactly how it feels. You know what I mean? It's so fucking hard to find someone in a small city who hasn't fucking slept and or dated with your friend. And I know it'll be the exact same out here. But until I get to that point, let's enjoy it. You know what I mean? And there's been, who would have thought that, I've been seeing 2 guys. And I'm not going crazy yet. Yet is the word. And if that was in Brighton, baby, put me in a mental hospital. But it's just if anything, it's just showing me that, and this is going to sound, people are going to be shut up, grow up. But I text my mom and I was I wonder what exactly I texted her last night. I texted her whenever I was coming home from the bar. I don't want to misquote myself here, but what did I say to her? I said, hold on. I was telling her about the guys that I've been seeing, and she was like, huh? And then I said to her, this was at 2:21 in the morning. I said, Jesus Christ, I really thought I was so ugly or something because I couldn't even bag a date in 9 months in Brighton, and in a week in New York, I've got 2 men. And that was my drunk ramblings, but that's exactly how I felt. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I really did persuade myself that I was fucking crazy in Brighton. Literally watch any of the podcasts. I fully persuaded myself that I was psychotic. And I really persuaded myself that it had to do with my personality, it had to do with my looks, it had to do with whatever. And then I come out to New York and I'm like meeting people and I'm like, oh, people don't just treat you badly like they do back in Brighton, or people don't just have a vendetta like they do in Brighton. And I'm sure these bitches will in these streets too, but like, it's crazy how I haven't felt it yet. Well, Trisha Paytas, she wasn't. Yeah. Mama's been living. And I'm so sad to go home. Ugh. I'm so excited to go back for Christmas to Ireland, to like my home. But like, guys, should I come here for New Year's? If enough of you comment it, maybe I'll do it. Is that too crazy? I mean, okay, here's my two options. The two options is New Year's Eve back in Brighton. All of my friends are in relationships. I'm the only single one for a third year in a row, or second year in a row. And we're all going to a party, and everyone at the party is mutual friends. And there will be exes there will be situationships there will be people that hate me there will be people I hate there. Versus being here and not only having a date or two, but like having plans and meeting new people. And I don't know, maybe it's too ridiculous to come out here in New Year's. I guess I'll just look forward to February. But yeah, I really have just gotten like this new kind of burst of like, wait, life kind of eats. Life's kind of exciting. And it's been nice. It honestly has been nice. And I think the main thing has been like, it's been really nice kind of recalculating in my brain that like, oh, I'm not crazy. Or, oh, the way I feel in certain situations is actually just like my living conditions right now versus like how I actually am. I had to kiki with you. I'm going to leave because I'm going to film some other main channel videos, but I had to just let you know. But anyways, it's been going really well. I apologize for the lack of videos, but Mama Mucker has been living it up. Alright. I'm sending you all love and good night. Oh my god, they turned the lights off on that. Damn, I thought that was the Empire State Building this entire time, but my mom just informed me that's the One World Trade Center, which is crazy because... No. That is really crazy. No. Okay, bye!